Dales at PhillyBoatShow.com.
You're watching NBC 10 Live at Issue.
Back with Congressman John Adler, Democrat, New Jersey. Let's talk about Governor Corzine briefly. It's interesting that in the latest polling, the governor is not faring too well in a matchup with potentially the Republican opponent in the governor's election. So when you look at that, and yet you see that the American public concluded, at least last November, that Republicans were largely to blame for what's going on in the country, how do you explain Governor Corzine not doing so well?
I don't attempt to explain what other elected officials are dealing with. I know he's dealing with big problems in New Jersey. Every governor around the country is dealing with huge problems, and I think a lot of governors have seen their polling drop precipitously. I see it with Governor Schwarzenegger in California, Governor Strickland in Ohio. A lot of the top governors throughout the country aren't faring so well in the polling. Governor Schwarzenegger was doing badly, then he won his election.
And he's a Republican. Ed Rendell's a Democrat. He's not faring that badly in the polling. You were in Trenton in the state legislature for a long time in the General Assembly. Do you have any clue as to what he is either being not perceived correctly by or some misstep he did?
I think people perceive along the way, and then they vote in November. And I'm confident Governor Corzine is going to project his image. His Republican opponent will project a different message, and we'll see what happens there. President
Obama tells the New York Times that the U.S. is not winning the war in Afghanistan. And you don't really hear that kind of talk too much from a president. How do you feel about that? Was that the right thing to say?
Well, I think the point he's trying to make is that we needed to put more troops on the ground there. It's extraordinarily difficult terrain there. It's not really a country. It's a bunch of different tribal areas that are not very well governed centrally. It's not used to central government. So it's a very difficult climate for so the sort of political reform that the military can help us project. It is a tough battle there.
What do you say to those who complain that Republicans in their rhetoric or outright talk are wanting this president to fail?
I hope in my heart that's not true. The times are too tough for too many families around our country, certainly in my district, New Jersey, for us to be squandering opportunity to help everybody. We should be working together as Americans, not fighting as Democrats and Republicans.
Is it smart then for President Obama and his team to go after Rush Limbaugh when, by doing so, they're not lowering the temperature but potentially raising the temperature?
Again, I can't judge what President Obama is doing. I worry about John Adler and the Adler family, but our family has pretty toned rhetoric. We're pretty calm.
Congressman, thank you very much. Appreciate you. Former senator in New Jersey. Thank you very much. Appreciate you taking the time.
Great to see you. Thanks so much.
Congressman John Adler. Up ahead, Republican State Senator Patrick Brown of Allentown, and later, when Live at Issue returns.
You're watching NBC.